Hello. Okay, for me this morning it is bright and early on Sunday. Actually, it's not so early anymore. It's almost 8 o'clock. But I've been up since 5 because I'm trying to get up early. So tonight I've got to go to bed like at 8 o'clock so that we can get up tomorrow at 3. So we're going to drive to Adelaide, which is it's about 11-12 hours, but by the time you stop, it gets up to 14 or 15 hours. Anyway, but I thought I wasn't going to do a video for this, and then I had a brainwave, and we'll see if it works. Okay, so over on the Foxy Crafters on Facebook, so the group that is administered by Tracie Fox, she's got a challenge this month to alter a notebook. And I thought, oh cool, I'd do that. I've done that quite a few times. When I very first started junk journaling, I wonder if I can reach it from here. Oh. I altered a composition book. I know these are, I was so excited when you get these in Australia because you couldn't, and all of the books, all of the videos I watched on junk journaling featured these composition books, and they're cool because they're sewn in, not stapled, like a lot of our notebooks here, but our Office Workshop sells them. Anyway, and like this is an old one from early junk journaling days of just stuff, altered cover, just painted. Anyway, this is Lilu, who is wandering around. She's been fed, so I don't quite know what she's wandering around for, but anyway. Okay, so when Tracie Fox did the challenge, I thought I would just, because I've got a couple of these composition notebooks lying around waiting for me to turn them into junk journals, I was going to do that. So I got them out on my table when they were sitting there, and then I had this thought of taking one of the kids' notebooks from school. So these are all like leftover. They've had stuff pulled out, so there's only half the pages. Oh look, that's still got weekly homework, year 5. This is my 17-year-old's book, so that was a long time ago. Oh, look at that. Was it an acrostic poem? So it says Thomas, Thomas, terrific, honest, outstanding, math man, awesome, scout man. I might have to keep that. That's cute. Anyway, so because we went and collected all of his stuff from his dad's house, like the last of his bits and pieces that he had, and he had all of these school books, plus I've got heaps of other ones. So I thought, oh, let's alter one of those. And then obviously it's quite big, and because these are stapled, there's like 3 staples, 1, 2, 3, they're hard to cut, all that sort of stuff. And I wanted to sew onto the cover. So then I had a thought. If I take it apart, so like the Tracie Fox's video and a few of the others, they've just altered the cover. But what I thought I would do, and we'll see how we go with this, is to take it apart, then cut it to size, and then sew back in the signatures of notepaper. So still just notepaper, although I could add some different types. I've got some normal notepaper, but I just want to try and make this as basic as possible. So remove these staples, then get my trusty paper cutter, and I think, so these are A4, so they're 29 and a half. It doesn't really matter if they're even actually, just as long as I cut them. One can be smaller than the other one, doesn't really matter. So I could always make one a bit bigger and one a smaller one. Actually, that might work. What if I do there? So I'm going to cut this at the 5" or just over 12.5 centimetres. So then I can have a small one which might be a flip up block. Might work. I don't know, we'll see. And then this one. So then I need the paper, obviously. I don't know how much this will cut through, we'll see. So at 5. I wonder whether I might, because the 5 is a smaller one, I'll use the bottom part of the page. Just cut this. Even straight. Okay, so now when I sew these in, I'll probably sew in 2 signatures. I don't know, I'll see. Maybe 1. I might lessen the number of papers. I have to see. There we go, that's better. Fits in better. I guess because they're not going to be chunky, that's okay. Alright. So they're cut. Actually, I might need that again. So then, so that's my cover. So then what I might do, is, so this is quite shiny, so it might end up being a bit hard to glue. So I'm going to patchwork some paper, I think, and then glue them down. So I've got lots of these bits here. Oh, I hear child movement. Good morning, William. I'm videoing, yes. He has no voice. So I'm just searching for some odds and ends. I've got some, oh, here they are, smaller bits of variety of, this is like Tim Holtz paper, a lot of this that I used for my traveller's notebooks, but they're all quite cool. So let's go with those. It's just plain brown. Look at that. Now, because it's quite thin, it won't really matter if they don't fit together perfectly. But I do need the pieces to be square. Otherwise, for this purpose, they won't go together. Because I want them to be, I want them to be square. To be able to stick together, so then I can sew them together. And then I'm just cutting them in different sizes. That one's pretty square because I cut it. I had that folded. Yes, because what we're going to do is patchwork them together a bit. Now this I don't want, actually I might wait because might not use that up. Oh, ooh. It's got a bit of a daggy bit. It's like, oh, which bit do you use? Well, the tickets I like. I like this one. So it doesn't really matter, oops, with your size of these pieces, obviously. You don't need to use a paper trimmer, I just do it because make sure that I'm nice and square, although it doesn't always work out to be that way. Use some of the tape measure stuff. So these bits are all the covers from some travel journals I'm in the middle of making. Okay, how are we going? Now with these, when I stick them on the cover, it won't matter if they go over the edge because I can trim it easy enough. Yeah. So I went to the book fair that we have here in Canberra, a Lifeline book fair. They have big ones, and then they have like big ones a couple of times a year at a big venue, and then they have these smaller ones, and I've never been to a smaller one before, but I must admit it was a bit, wasn't that impressed. My partner warned me, but you know, I had to go and experience it for myself. So, but it was fine. I've got a couple of books, nothing too exciting. Yeah, I don't have anything here. I did score, so this is a little one that I got. I do quite like that. They look like stamped images, which I quite liked. But also a nice, neat little book. So I may do something with that. I did get some sheet music. One of the packs of sheet music I noticed was from $18.99, so that's pretty good. So I should be able to scan that. I didn't think I did get any old enough, but when I was looking at it, I found the copyright. So I was like, oh, cool. And then this pack of cards, which is Mary Poppins pictures, which I really like. So that's quite cool. Anyway, other than that, nothing too much. Alright, do I need a glue book? Do I have a glue book? There we go. I don't know whether my son's decided to not use the computer because I'm doing this, but he could. So then all I do is, honestly, I just sort of play around. And it doesn't matter if it's better if it's hanging off because I can trim it. I don't know, these ones are a bit dark. I might not use that. I've got a smaller. No, use a bigger one. There we go. And even then, honestly, I'll do this and then I'll go to stick it together and it will be different. Short a bit. No. Okay. It doesn't matter too much. It's better if it's straight from that end because I'm actually going to put a bit of fabric over the spine. So it doesn't matter too much if it's not quite even at the spine, because that bit will be covered up. So yeah, so it's all almost better going there. Alright, I'm just going to start because I'm going to fidget. And sometimes you just got to make it fit regardless. I should check. I think I'll move the camera a little bit. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. I'll move the camera a little bit because I keep drifting up off. So hopefully this will be better. Where is that ticket one? I might do that there. Okay. So today we've got more packing to do. Well, pack my clothes. I'm going to finish sorting out the trailer in the car because that's not done yet. Yesterday we did the grocery shopping for the most of the junk for the food so that we don't starve. Not starve, but you know, our snack food in the car, and bought a few bits and pieces for our house sitters, two of my son's friends, they've done it before with us, mainly because we have the animals is the big problem. Not that I like to leave the house empty anyway, but all the animals need feeding. A weird thing when you get animals. No, not really. Important. Whoops, that's not straight. Okay. Okay. So yes, I wasn't going to do a video for the altered notebook. I was just going to do it. I thought, oh, why not? Because I'm going to be away. I mean, not that I've been doing much at all. I think you've been lucky to get one a week at the moment. But yes, oops, that's glue stick there. Okay. I can't remember what I was going to say, but oh yeah, so then I thought, oh, I might as well do a video. That'd be good fun. So this one, I don't worry about trimming too much, but I might actually trim that. Just because I need that bit, or I want that bit. I actually want that bit like that, maybe. Or the yellow. I don't know if it's too yellow there. But I do want it even there. Sorry, I'm probably bashing the tripod around. A bit too much. That's fine. The outside I'll trim once everything's all stuck down, and then I'll sew it patchwork wise, so I may pause the video while I'm sewing that. I'm going to do front and back cover with this. So I might actually just go over. Because I'm actually going to zigzag stitch over that cover. That'll be fine. There we go. I mean, so you can use any paper for this. This is, I said, mostly some Tim Holtz scrapbooking paper, just because I had some scraps around. But really anything. You could even use different text, like different book pages would be quite cool. Different types. Oh, look at that, that's too short. Is that thicker? No, it's not thicker, is it? Oh. Okay, I'm going to stick it down and then I will trim it to the right size. Because then I can use another bit. I'm going to be... Oops, what did I do with my scissors? They were here. Oh, there they are. My total uneven cutting skills. Don't pay attention. Okay. I don't know how some people do it. Have beautiful cutting. Because I don't. Actually, I might even, before that sticks down, I'll do it the other way. So this is the top. Not that it really matters what side, way round they are, honestly. I often don't worry, I don't think I worried on the other side. Okay, so like I said with this one, it doesn't really matter what the spine looks like, because I'm actually going to put a little bit of, I'll put some hessian, I've got some thin hessian. That might work, or even just some plain fabric. I've got some plain fabric, so it doesn't matter if this is a bit uneven there. Oops, I'm getting glue everywhere. I normally wouldn't even go over that, but I didn't worry too much about it. should use that. Again, I'm using my scissors because I'm not very, I don't really want to get the cutter out for just that little bit. See, that works. Glue stick, did I stumble? There we go. Got a longer. This one. See that line? As much as I'm hopeless with, I prefer to do the using the paper trimmer to get it straight, because I'm going to zigzag, so it doesn't matter as much if it's not a perfect fit, because the zigzag will hide some little errors, which is quite a handy trick. And you don't even have to, like I'm going to sew it, but you could draw the zigzag lines over it. I've seen some really effective use of that. And I know you can get stamps, like sewing stamps, which are really cool too. So you don't necessarily need to okay, that one I'm going to have to measure because I have to get it in. Don't think it's very straight either. See, that's going at an angle. Somewhere I missed it, but that's okay. I'm going to wing it. I don't recommend this at home. Oh, a little bit too. It's alright. Fine. What am I? I've got quite a light thread in. I might actually put a dark thread in, and then it won't even. You won't even notice the gap. Okay, so that's that bit. Now the other thing I want to do to this cover, so let me just trim the edges. Oops, I went over. Okay. Oh, that's that. Okay, so that's the basic cover. All right, so I'm going to the thing I'm going to do, which you don't have to do, but I'm just thought of just putting a bit of a pocket in here. I could do both sides, and that way you can pop little things in. I'm going to do 3-inch. Oh, that moved. So for this one, I'm just going to set that in from the spine a bit. Now make sure I've got this the right way. Yep. So I'm just going to use my fabric glue. This isn't fabric tack, this is just some cheap stuff from the oh no, I'm not going to stick them on. Pause, almost stuffed it. First of all, I'm going to patchwork sew this, and then I'll do that. Okay, so I'm just going to pause this. Okay, I'm back. It was a bit fiddly because I somehow have a random bobbin that does not belong to my sewing machine, and I sort of was putting the thread on and I was like, oh, this bobbin doesn't seem right, but I just sort of kept going. And then I thought, I'm going to test this on a piece of scrap, which I'm glad I did because, yes, it wasn't working properly. So then I had to rethread another bobbin, and because this is a much darker thread than I normally use, but I decided that it would work better for this. As I was doing it, I'm realising most of you will probably say, yes, it's just Franken paper, which is exactly what it is. It's which people have been doing for a while now, where they just sort of patchwork together different papers to make up one. And it was just, I said it was in mind because I had done it for a journal cover, and so I thought I would try it for this. Also, if you're aiming for a very quick and easy altered notebook, this is probably not the one to do, but it's fun. For the purposes of this, I am more than happy to spend the time because I enjoy doing it. Okay, I'm just taking all these scraps off here. So as you can see, if I'd glued the pockets down, I wouldn't have been able to get into the pocket. So that is why you sew first. Okay. Now you'll notice I haven't sewn around the edges because I'm going to just do a straight stitch, and I'll do that once I've got the pockets in, because then that will help hold the pockets in as well as the glue. You could round the corners, I suppose. I haven't because the paper's not rounded, so that would just be a pain. I think I'd have to round all the paper as well, and I can't be bothered. The other thing I'm going to do, let me find my fabric box. Oops, sorry, I just bumped the thing. I have a ton of fabric, 2 massive big crates, but these are just some little bits that I had floating around. I think that will work. No. Okay. So I might maybe, I don't know. What about sorry, my brain is thinking, which, you know, after not a huge amount of sleep is not great, because I woke up early on purpose, as I told you before, because I have to be up super early tomorrow. But we went out last night to the theatre, went to go see Kinky Boots, which was hilarious. It was awesome, but it does mean I'm now tired. Okay, I'm going to use, these are Roxy Creation labels. I've just printed these on sticker paper. But because sticker paper is not very thick, if I put this onto fabric, you definitely won't be able to write on it. So I'm going to put it onto this bit of coffee dot, because this is quite thick. This is thicker. This is like I don't know, art book paper, something. I'm not sure. So if I put it on this and then put that on the fabric and then sew that onto the cover. How does that all sound? All right. Yes, printing these, oh, it's a bit light one, labels onto sticker paper is a revelation. It makes life so much easier to quickly my fabric scissors are. Well, it really matters. Now this fabric, I think, doesn't tear one way, like it's almost impossible. We'll see. Yeah, doesn't. There they are. I don't know why, it's really weird, but I can't. We'll tear the other way. Fine. That won't tear. No, that's fine. Okay, so no, it should do it less. Right, I'm going to just put a little bit, not much at all, because then I'm actually going to quickly sew this. I might change that to straight stitch. If I do this quickly, rather than pausing the video again. Oh, I can hear the church bells. 1, 2, oh. I'm just cutting it a little bit. Oh, sorry, I'm totally off. I'll do a little bit over. Yeah, I don't know where this fabric comes from, but I actually really like it. It's like just a random bit that I had. I don't know if it was a tablecloth or sheet. I don't think sheet's a bit too coarse. There we go. Okay. That's eyeballing it, and I'm pretty much spot on. Okay. Okay. probably could have sewed it directly on. There we go. Oops. Might even put another stitch through, maybe. Okay. Stick on. Okay, I think that is good. I might actually do a wide zigzag. If I do a wide one, I'm just going to test some first. No, why is it not? Because I didn't. There we go. Just testing some size. If I do a wide, no. Okay. I'm actually going to do straight again. After all that, but quite a long one. There we go. So just do a bit of wonky stitching. There we go. Okay. So mind stitching down. Alrighty. Now, I have two options now. To leave the stitching visible, which I actually don't mind too much. I have my two pockets. Or, I have some brown, it's quite thin though. It's just brown paper. I have a long piece. I wonder if the long piece will fit. Sorry, I'm just going to stretch. Ugh. Oops. Ah, long piece isn't quite long enough. Look at that. Oh. Okay. Alright. I think I'm just going to... I don't mind the stitching showing personally, and probably if it was just for me, I would leave it. But I'm going to stick these down here, just to cover up the stitching. Like I said, it doesn't really matter, and I would probably... Now this paper has a shiny side and a dull side. It's not a very shiny side at all, but I'm going to... Now the only problem with doing this, and it doesn't really matter too much, but you will see or feel the stitching because it's quite thin paper. If you really wanted to cover it up, you could just use thicker paper. But as you can see the stitching. But for the purposes of this notebook, I think that will be fine. but it's all personal preference really. If you put a thicker paper, it would be all right. On the journal cover I actually used this brown paper to make the patchwork on, and then stuck this onto a journal cover. And because the journal cover was a book cover, it's quite thick, and so didn't really didn't show. Now I'm not too worried if there's a little bit of a white gap, because the pages will the notebook part will sew in and you won't see it. Not that tiny little gap anyway. I can hear movement. Wonder whether the kids are going to get up. Okay, let's just trim these bits off. Oh, I've got thread everywhere. No, that's right. I thought I did it upside down, but that's right. Okay, then my bits that I've cut for my pockets, I'm going to use. Now again, I'm going to inset them just a little bit so that when you fold it, it's not going to interfere. And I'm going to use the fabric glue. And then I'm going to straight stitch around each cover, and then that will be it, and then we can sew back in the pages. And I think that is going to be cool. Oh look, left. That scrapbooking paper has like journaling cards and stuff on them, which I've used before, but because I had like 4 pages of each. And this one can go here. There we go. And then once these pages are in, yeah, so that will be fine. So this is going to be a bit harder, but I still think I'm not going to divide it up into signatures. I'm just going to do one big thing. Oh. Yes, it's videoing.
Oops, sorry.
No, don't be sorry. That's all right. He just looked at Okay, so I'm going to stitch around the edge of that. I'll pause it again because just in case I have a problem, and then I'm going to sew in that, and that should be done. Which I guess because what I might do before, I just might trim the pages a little bit, just because I've stuck things into the cover. It has pushed the cover a little bit. That made it a bit. So I'm going to trim the white notebook pages. All right, I will do that. Okay, I've now sewed, the pockets were on and they're glued, and then I've sewn it. and I've sewn around the edge with a straight stitch. So now I'm going to stitch this in, and I was going to trim the paper, but I'm actually not going to bother. Once it's in, you might be able to, but look, it's only a little notebook, it's not anything. And if I put it in, I might be able to, once I sew it in, I might be able to pull it in tight enough, we'll see. So I'm actually going to just do a pamphlet stitch, just a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I was just going to do 2, but I think I will. Oh look, see, you leave the boys alone with my bulldog clips and look what they do. I don't even know which one it was. Could have been the husband. How do I know? Ugh. I tell you. No, I can't. There we go. Get cranky at them. I think it's hilarious. Okay. Oh, I can hear more movement. So the kids are all up, which they don't normally. Oh, actually, what I was going to do, I was going to put fabric, wasn't I? So before I do that, I'm just going to get a little bit like this. This is one, there we go. To cover the edge like that. I'll probably put a sewn it down as well, but that's fine. It will sew in with the pamphlet stitch. And I don't mind if it gets a bit ratty. There we go. Right. So people are all starting to get moving, so we need to go and finish our packing and getting ready to go away. But, oops, just got the cable, sorry. I'm not going to worry too much about measuring or anything. Eyeball it. What am I going to do? I think I will do the thread on the inside. Sometimes I have the thread on the outside, which is nice if you want to attach charms and things, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it on the inside today. Super quick 3-hole. Oops, missed that. Oh, I can definitely hear movement. The boys are awake, so get this done quickly so that it's done. They're not making noise, which they do. And in the last hole. Okay. Right, that's all fairly even. Super quick. Yep. Could do with one of the boys here so they can hold the knot. Lucky you can't see because that's where I hold in the last bit of my mouth. Leave that in there. See, actually, once I've tied that in, that's not really over the edge. Cut this fabric off. And done. One altered notebook. A bit more glue down here. There you go. So you can't quite see those gaps. Has some little pockets. Ready, done. So that was a cool little challenge. So thank you, Tracie, for that. And I'm really happy with how that's turned out. Sits a little bit out, but not too far. And the beauty about this is if you use the notebook and finish it up, because it's one with a pamphlet stitch, it's easy to snip it out and then put it on another notebook. It'll be easy. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully today I'll get this put together and edited, and then, because it's Sunday, and then I might get it to upload at some point this week. I may even just do it today and then it's uploaded. Or I may set it to upload later on in the week, but if you're like me, you watch things on the weekend. But yeah, so from this, well, actually from, where is it? An old school notebook that your kids might not have finished at school and you've got pages torn out. And then I cut it, you can cut it exactly in half, you could make smaller ones, you can even trim it that way. And then you've got some little paper for the back of journaling cards. That might work too. I might do that with this one, make it smaller that way. And yeah, and for this one, like I said, I took the cover off. Yeah, I'm happy with it. A bit of fun, makes a nice little gift for someone. And the extra little pockets. That's cool. All right, enough looking at it. That's it. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Tracie, for the challenge. Head on over to Foxy Crafters on Facebook. I'll put the link below. And then I think this notebook will head off in some Happy Mail somewhere. I don't know if I'll get a chance to send it. Well, I won't get a chance to send it before I go away. But when I get back, I will do that. But otherwise, I love it. Cool. Thank you, and I'll see you later.